So this is an upload on the Senegal parrot, the good, bad and the ugly, the pros and cons if you are considering getting a Senegal. Now, I'm not an expert, but I do know a lot about the Senegal, and I have a female, so I cannot comment on males. I'm also not a vet, but I'm just giving you my experience of owning a female Senegal. Now, lots of people have said, you know, they've experienced exactly the same problem, and it's very common with the Senis. That's the pet name they give. This is Boo. She's 28. I've had her since she was 22. So it is possible for a bird to bond with you. I mean, really avidly bond. Even after all that time. Boo was a rescue. I've done a lot of rescue birds, African greys, budgies, conures, you name it. But Boo is part of my flock. You may hear other birds in the background, such as that one, which is my kike. And we can go into them later on if you want to learn about the African greys, the pros and cons, the kike, or as many call them, cake parrots, cockatiels, conures, blah, 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 budgies, which are my favourite birds. So let's talk about the Senegal. So what are the pros and cons? Well, the Senegal, first of all, in the wild, the Senegals live around 25 years. So quite a long time. But in captivity, on the right diet with the right care, your Senegal parrot could live up to 50 years old. So it's a double life expectancy. This is what Boo does, and we call her peekaboo when she does that. Now, first of all, do the Senegals talk? Well, can I just say that many people that get birds, their main priority is for them to talk. You know, and they tend to go with the African grey, which I will cover at another time. But I've rehabilitated a male African grey that only said one word. And so not all birds talk. So it's not a good idea to get a bird just because it talks, in my opinion. But the African grey is very popular for this. Now, Boo can talk, and she can talk very, very clearly. But she chooses most of the time to hardly talk at all. Unless she's not getting enough attention, she will shout, oi, 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 to get my attention. And then she'll say peekaboo. So what are the pros and cons? Well, let's do the good points of the Senegal. In my experience, the good points are the Senegal, in comparison to conures and to kikes and other birds I've owned and rehabilitated, are not really that loud, in my opinion. Now, I cannot comment on the male Seni because I've never owned one. But personally, I mean, they can have a loud call at times, but they're not screamers. Well, she isn't. So that's a good thing. The most amazing thing I think about the Senegal is that they are completely and totally devoted to their regular caregiver. And I mean devoted beyond belief. They totally will attach to one person. So if you're looking for a bird that is going to attach to you and be solely yours, providing you're spending the right amount of time with them, you know, the Seni is outstanding, in my opinion. Now, Boo is completely attached to me only, completely bonded. That means that she sees me as her partner. Now, that's wonderful. She's very, very silly tame. And considering that I didn't get her till she was 22, It took a lot of trust and a lot of time. It can take 6 months, maybe more, for a bird to, you know, get settled. But Boo, look at her, you know. I don't like doing this, but let me show you. She's just completely tame, beautiful. Only I can do that. So what are the cons of having the Seni? Now, I'm not knocking the Senegal. I'm not trying to make it seem like a bad bird at all. But in my opinion, and many, many people I know that own them, they are very, very aggressive at times and possessive of their caregiver, to the point where they will actually kill another bird. And sadly, I had that experience with Boo. Now, it's not personal, it's her protecting me. She will attack people she doesn't know viciously. 9 times out of 10, they tend to go for the ear, the face, or the top of the scalp. And she will really go to town, you know. She will warn you first. She does like a noise. The feathers puff up and she's on an attack mode. Now, I've heard this with so many people, and when they bite, trust me. So she is very protected of me. Now, even with her own kind, she will attack. You come above even her own kind. I've even heard of people bringing Senis up together, you know, and one has taken more to the caregiver than the other and has tried to kill the bird, the other Senegal. Now, I'm not saying this is always Senegals, but it is very notorious of them to do that. I would never let Boo out while my other birds were out. She'll go for them. She will try to kill them. She is not afraid of the size whatsoever. She's even attacked my dog, which was careless on my part, lesson learned, where she flew off the rope and bit the dog on the backside, and the dog was running down the hall and Boo was attached to her backside. And now it sounds funny, but she could do some serious damage with this beak. So we have to be respectful of that. But on the whole, they are a beautiful bird. So if you're looking for an only bird that's going to attach to you and you alone and be faithful, then I would recommend the Senegal. But I certainly don't recommend them with other birds. I mean, I have other birds and she will go in the room with them in her cage. She has 2 cages. One that she lives in, which is really big. There's one in the lounge so she can socialise. But I would never let her out. Even if my other birds were in the cage, she will go to the cage and attack them. So they are notorious for doing that. But if you're looking for a partner, an only bird, and you have no other birds, I would say the Senegal is absolutely a beautiful bird to have. Look at this. Peekaboo. Peekaboo. She's so cute. Beautiful birds. Absolutely stunning. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found that informative.